All right, I'm recording. Here we go. Welcome to Free Yourself podcast part 2 with Louis, Freddy Boy, Sierra. How you doing today?
I'm doing good,
Yeah.
A little tired after a long day, but
Oh
I'm
yeah.
here.
What's your day look like?
Today I woke up, hit the gym like I normally do. Went back to my van, actually donated some stuff because I've been making more space in my van and just getting rid of stuff.
Yeah.
So I went to Goodwill, donated a whole bunch of stuff, and then from there, I went and taught 3 different classes. I taught a Little Ninjas class, and then I taught a kids parkour class, and then I had the adult parkour class, where I kind of injured myself in the little kids class. And
Don't lie, man. They beat you up. You can say it. They beat you up.
it was crazy because the kids like to chase me, right?
Yeah.
And they're actually really fast and good. And I tried getting away from one of them. And when you're the older instructor, when you have a bunch of little kids looking up to you, they kind of think you're a superhero, and you kind of got to keep that image. So I hurt my knee, and I sat there, and I was just kind of like, all right, I can't let them know that I got hurt, or or their image of me is going to be ruined. They're not going to think I'm a superhero anymore.
Yeah. Not only that, bro, but when you're injured like that, they smell blood, bro. It's like a shark. They smell blood. They'll come at you harder.
Yeah, kids are savage.
I know. So, how long you been doing? What is it? Parkour?
Oh, parkour.
Parkour.
Yep.
How long you been doing it?
Honestly, I've been, as Poppy would say, I've been doing this since I was a kid. I would run around and jump off of furniture, jump off of like any random stuff I'd find outside. And Dad would always be like, I swear, if you get hurt, I'm going to beat your ass on the way to the hospital. So if I ever got hurt, I just wouldn't say anything. I would get up. I would, rub some dirt on it, as they say, and I would just keep going about my business. If he was like, did you hurt yourself? I'd be like, nope.
Those are those kind of things that stick with you to like today. For instance, like when you got hurt, it wasn't that you wasn't trying to play it off. You was trying to play it off for the kids. It's like you had it in the back of your mind. Like if you show any sign of injury, your dad's voice is back there like, I'm gonna beat your ass on the way to the hospital.
That's so true though.
Yeah, those are some things that we don't notice them because we've grown up in it's been normalized for us, and where a lot of the things that we do is because we grew up that way, and it's like subconsciously we do that. And that goes for like even showing emotions. If you don't learn that it's okay to for boys to cry, that we carry that on, and so we don't cry, right? But where does that emotion go? If we can't cry, where does that emotion go?
Yep. And the worst kind of emotion or energy is pent up emotion and pent up energy.
Yeah,
because it builds and builds and builds until eventually it's like, well, not really much to build, and just spills over.
Yeah, yep. It either comes out where you're acting out something or out of anger, or like it shows up like a disease in your body. Not necessarily a disease, but like there's there's a pain in your back that you don't know where it came from, that it's like emotions are stored. They got to be stored somewhere, right?
Yep.
So it shows up that way. And
hey, look who just showed up. I'm sorry, guess who just showed up during the interview.
Get out of here. Where I can't see
Bobby. Mira, estoy hablando con. Mira con quién estoy hablando.
Andando.
¡Papá!
Andando.
Bendición, no te veo.
Dios te bendiga, papá.
No me veo ahí.
No tengo luz, no.
¿Qué hace?
Ahí, acabando de llegar de la iglesia.
Ajá.
¿Cómo tú estás, papá?
Todo
¿Me
bien.
ves ahora?
¿Ah?
¿Me ves ahora?
No, I can't see. It's dark.
No, yeah, it's too dark.
Están afuera.
¿Cómo está la familia, Chaito?
La familia está bien, gracias a Dios. Estamos
Andando.
buenos, sanos.
Amén.
Yeah.
Esa es la que quiero. Eso es lo que quiero oír. ¿Tú estás bien?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Blessed.
All right, papá. Dios me lo bendiga siempre. Dios me lo acompañe, ¿ok? Sabes que lo quiero mucho.
I love you too, tío. Bendición.
All right, Dios te bendiga, papá. Tato.
Ah, pa, yo voy a terminar esto, una horita, lo que sea, y después te veo adentro, ¿ok?
Dale.
Love you, pa.
Love you too, papá.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah. I like saw him and I was like, no, don't say anything. He was looking at me like, what? I was like, you know what? I might as well just like not.
Yeah. That's what's up. So you just getting home from your long day, huh?
Well, so I normally stay in my van in different places, but I talked with Poppy. Because the van is doing like this. I mean, to cut it short, we're just gonna work on my van tomorrow.
Yeah.
So he told me, he was like, just come over here, park your van. You know, you could stay in the van still if you'd like, and then in the morning we'll go work out together, and then we'll just go work on the van and get everything fixed.
That's dope. That's nice.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm behind Dad's apartment. So I told him to come check it out, see where I was parked, to make sure everything was good. And yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow.
Now he's in Tampa, right?
Yes.
You guys are in Tampa? Right.
Yep.
With Tito Yolanda and Tio Tito's in Kissimmee or Orlando? Or Kissimmee.
I don't know, because I heard, I don't know if he's moved yet, but I was told that he's going to be moving to Oregon soon.
Holy cow. Oh, yeah. His wife's daughter lives out there, something like that.
Yeah, I met her. She's really cool people. They both are. They're both really cool people.
Good thing is, I mean, he knows his way around a farm, man. You know how they grew up in Puerto Rico, right? Mom and dad. I mean, our dad, your dad grew up. They got the finca right there. So
yeah. That's what I'm trying to get for Dad someday. Because I mean, he's happy and all, but I know if I got him like a little place with like land and stuff, he would definitely not say no. He would jump on that in a heartbeat, because that's what he always talks about. He talks about, like, he was like, man, back in my day, we were so young, we were so innocent, and like, there was nothing. Like, he even told me, he was like, we grew up different, because back in our day, we would go out into the woods, and it's not like you guys nowadays. You guys go out into the woods, and you have to be smoking pot or drinking or yada 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 or whatever. He's like, no, we didn't do that. You know what we did? We would go out into the jungle or whatever, and we would eat frogs, we would eat squirrels, whatever we could catch. And like, he's like, we wouldn't come home till like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And I'd be like, man, really? And he'd be like, yeah, we'd be full too. I'd be like, man,
I'm about to say, full of squirrels and frogs. I don't know, man. That's like when your parents like, when I was your age, I used to walk 15 miles in the snow. You ain't walk no 15 miles in the snow. you ain't eat no frogs. No, so they probably did, man. I know they actually probably walked 15 miles to get to their school in the morning. I know my dad used to tell me they used to like have to cross the river, the little river in the back, hike it up, go. It was like 15 miles from the house.
It's like literally an adventure every day just to get to school.
Lucky it didn't snow in Puerto Rico, because then it literally be like 15 miles in the snow. Had a couple squirrels. Shit, I even killed a bear one time. I
would kill the bear one time
for months.
I could see Poppy just being like, "Oh, but it's snowing. Oh, okay. I'm actually gonna go build a fort instead of going to school.
Right. Um, that's cool. It was good to hear him. All right, what else? What's new? What's new in your life, man?
So actually, I'm glad you asked because there's like a few things I've been thinking about. I don't want to say worry, been thinking about. I'm gonna step back in here, so I don't know how much of me you're gonna see because I'm going back into the van. Kind of hurt my leg earlier, so I'm just gonna sit down for a little bit while.
Yeah, I'm about to pull up some pictures in a minute of you, so we'll still see you. I figured out the share. Since it was the first time zooming on this laptop, it wasn't set up to share correctly, but now it's good to go.
Nice. Hopefully this time everything comes out how you say better than expected.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Honestly, in my life, I've been just thinking about what I want to do lately because I'm working right now, teaching kids martial arts and parkour and whatnot.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty happy with that. There's another company in there that does strictly martial arts, and they've been thinking about hiring me too, so that I'd basically stay in the same building but being paid by two different people, which would be awesome. Um, but at the same time, I don't know if you ever got to meet my sister that passed away, Bianca.
Oh yeah, I did. We used to hang out a lot back in the days when we were teens. I
Yeah,
mean, not a lot like every day or stuff like that, because obviously you guys lived in New York, but we used to go back and forth to New York a lot. Your pops used to come down. We used to go down. But yeah, go ahead.
so her my niece and nephew, her kids are basically like grown now.
Mm,
And Siani runs like this, she kind of runs this business where they do transport.
yeah.
Like if someone needs something moved, like truckers and whatnot. So she was telling me, if you come work over here, like you just come check it out. I'm trying to sum it up. I don't want to like bore you with all the crazy details, but she was basically telling me, come work over here. You could work as much as you want. Like, you'll make really good money. You could
Mhm.
work 2 weeks straight and then have a week and a half off. And I've been thinking about it and praying a lot about it because I pray a lot. And I've just been like, I don't know. The last week, I've been kind of like, God, are you telling me that I need to start doing more stuff myself and like asking you less? Like, or like, do I just need to start doing what I think is right as long as I'm staying within those boundaries of your laws? Like, I
Mm,
don't know, you know, what you're trying to tell me, what's right and what's wrong. Like, are you just trying to tell me to have more faith in my decisions and know that you're gonna have my back no matter what I choose? So I've been thinking about it, and as much as I like what's going on for me right now, I'm the type of person I can't do one thing for too long. Like I have to grow. If I don't feel like I'm growing in some way, shape, or form, then I just get bored. I feel like I'm stagnant.
hmm
So I'm really thinking about going and doing that because I feel like it could open a lot of doors for me. I feel like it can, um, like I'll be able to travel more. I'll be able to save more. Most importantly, I'll be able to try to figure out some way of having my daughter more in my life
hmm
and having more like sadly in today's society, as they say, money talks and bullshit walks. And I've never really liked that analogy because I've never been one to really like. I used to have kind of like a hate of money
hmm
because I had this perception in my mind that money made everyone evil and that money was
Yep.
just the root of all evil and that money changes people.
hmm
And little by little, I feel like God's been showing me like that's just what money has been used for, but it doesn't necessarily make money evil.
Right.
So I've been thinking about it. I'm like, maybe God has made me this way so that I would feel the way I did about money, so that when I actually did get to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to start making it, it won't change me.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. I'm just like,
Mhm.
maybe it's time for me to just take that jump, um, and to just work, sacrifice a little now, and then that way later I'll have more ability to actually not just chase my dreams, but actually put things financially in place to where I can chase and achieve my dreams.
Mhm.
And that's kind of where I'm at with it right now.
Yeah. So in making that decision, how do you feel inside? What's that initial feeling?
On the inside, it kind of scares me a little bit because I'm
Mhm.
like, I could potentially be leaving something that's really good for me and jumping to something that I have no clue how it's going to turn out.
Mhm.
But it to be honest, I've always been someone to where if I'm scared to do something, I don't necessarily take that as a bad thing. There's one quote that I remember, I think it was from one of the mafia movies, where the guy says, if you're about to take a jump and you're scared, that's exactly when you should jump. Because if you don't, you'll just stay in the same place, stuck forever. And whenever I think about that when it comes to parkour, because in parkour, a lot of the things we do is scary. When you're jumping from one building to another, and
Mm.
if you mess up, that's it. There's a little bit of fear there, but you can't let the fear make you hesitate. Because
Yeah.
if you hesitate because of that fear, that very hesitation is what will make you fail.
Yeah.
But if you push through that fear anyway and you commit all the way and you jump, you make it on the other side, and you're that much more confident because of it. You're that much stronger because
Yeah.
of it, because you're like, wow, I can actually do this now. And then the
Mhm.
next time you do it like nothing.
Yeah. 'Cause you know you can do it. Now it becomes not that it becomes like routine or it just comes easier, but now you know you can do it. Your confidence builds. A lot of times I give this story to the kids that I work with, or even people that I work with now that are scared to take a next step, go up another level, or even just speak in front of a couple of people or in a meeting or whatever, is that um those things, to get better at something, the more you practice it, the easier it is. So for my kids, I say, how do you get better at playing basketball? Right? You want to be the best basketball player, right? What's the first thing you do? First you pick up the ball, go to the court, right? And um you start taking shots, right? You want to get better at your foul shot. What do? You shoot
Mm-hmm.
shot after shot after shot after shot, because that practice makes you better. That when it's time for the game, you already got that muscle memory, that motion. It's like you're shooting it. You're more confident, right? And that helps
Yeah.
you. Um, so as a DJ, when I first started DJing, the guy that was my mentor, that put me on, we used to rock this club called Stage East. And I'm telling you, this shit used to be packed, 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 packed. And the DJs, where the DJ stood was up
Uh-huh.
like another level. Like you're looking down at the crowd is looking at you, right? Anything you mess up, the crowd knows exactly where you at. He goes, he's rocking it. He's a great DJ, DJ Carrasco.
Mhm.
So he's rocking it. He's like, yo, grab the mic, hype the crowd up. And I'm like, nah, what? No.
You're looking at him like, what?
You see all those people out there? And he's like, yeah, go ahead, do it. Right? I'm DJing. You do it. Grab the mic. That's why you're here. That's why I brought you along, right? So I'm like, damn. All right. So I'm like, everybody say, I don't know what I said. Everybody say, put your hands up. And everybody looked at me like, what the And I'm looking at my boy like, yo, complete bombed it, bro. I'm like, yeah, right. So next week, again, boom, we're rocking it, rocking it, rocking it. He's like, yo, get on the mic, hype him up. I'm like, oh, shit, you don't remember last week, man? He's like, yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm like, all right, here we go. So I do it again. It got a little better. Got a smaller response, right? I mean, a bigger response. And I'm like, all right, I didn't completely bomb this one. And then next week, I'm like, all right, well, he's going to ask me already. So I'm like practicing in the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm like trying to get myself hyped up. And then I do it and it was a lot better, right? But the moral of the story is that that it's that scaredness where when you break out of that, like the show, when you break out of that shell, when you step out of your shell or that comfort zone, it can take some time, practice, but when you get it, it's like, what? Did you see that? Did you see them put their hands up? Yo, look at that. What? Give me the mic. Give me the mic. Right?
You get so hyped afterwards. You're like,
yeah, bro. It's like, yo, that energy is real. It's like, yes. But check it out. I mean, it's still there's still times that you grab it like you're ready to like hype them up, get them all hyped up or whatever, and you still bomb it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is, at this point, like I mean, you care that they didn't put their hands up because you want to try to get it right, but you're not as scared, you're not worried that if you mess this one up, you're never going to get it again. Yep. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that and to come back to your story about whether you think it's right or not to take that step or that leap, it's meant to help you grow. Whether you figure out if this was the right move or not, it's still a growth you're gonna go through. The worst thing is that you're gonna figure out, well, you know what, I didn't like that, and it didn't take me where I wanted to, but you probably learned, what not to do, or you might come across something that, oh shit, you think back that I found something that I probably wouldn't have found if I didn't take that leap, right?
Yep.
Because you never know. You might be on the road and you might be working here, and another opportunity opens up where, like I said, you're looking back and you're like, damn, bro, you know what? If I never made the choice to take that job, I probably wouldn't have ran into this or whatever it is, right? Or you might just freaking love it and just be the best thing you ever did. But Freddie, I'm learning that like there's no mistakes in life. It might feel like, what if I take it and it's the wrong thing? There's no mistakes, bro. There's no mistakes. There is a learning experience. There is, like I said, like you figure out that that's not what you wanted. You might find something else, but every step that you take forward is not, it's leading you down your path, and you have to trust that. Like you said, is God waiting for me to make my move? Yeah, he is most definitely waiting for you to make your move.
God's like, you're always asking me, like, why don't you just do something and trust that I'm gonna be there? Like,
yeah, I got you. Right. What happens is sometimes it might take you a little longer to get to where you're to that destination, because you get to think back and you be like, you know what, man, I learned a lot, but I think this is the road that leads to where I'm going. Mm-hmm. Right. Where that's great too. That's fine too. You just make that choice and go. The key to life, and we talked about this before, is to live in the present moment, right? And do what's in the present moment, to do it to the fullest. Don't sit there and regret or think back like, man, I don't know if I should take it. I don't know if I should have did this or I shouldn't have done this. No, if you're in it, you're in it. You're doing it. And if you're not liking it, stop doing it and go this way. And then do that fully, right? Don't think back like, damn, was it the right thing? Was it not? Boom, forget about that. Stay present in the moment. If you don't like it, just change it, but keep going, keep staying in the moment. Anyways, I think I'm talking too much.
No. Honestly, that's all like right on point, because that reminded me of another thing that I had seen, like, because what I do is I'll pray about it and then I'll kind of like I'll see signs and it hits me and I'm like, all right, cool. I think this is God trying to like tell me that he wanted me to see this because this is an answer to one of my prayers. And one of the things that I saw, it said, if you're going to try something, don't just stick your foot in it, fully commit. If you're going to try anything in life, don't half-ass it. Go all or go home.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to try with your whole heart and your whole being. If not, don't even try.
Mm-hmm.
Like why try if you're only going to, kind of do it?
Because what happens is if you kind of do it, you're robbing yourself from the full experience.
Yep.
Where you might think back like, damn, what if I would have just committed to doing it and not half doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And bro, I mean, it happens and it's got to happen. The problem that we have as humans is that doubting ourselves. That doubting ourselves is actually not allowing you to appreciate that moment, right? Anytime you're doubting, you're not in the moment. You're doubting, you're thinking about something else. Where there's a time and place to think about it. There's memories that you think about that is, that was great. Or there's a memory of something that you did that you learned a lesson, like, damn, you know what? I'm not gonna do that again. That's fine. But if you get stuck in that, you're robbing yourself of that moment, or like I said, like you're robbing yourself of that experience of being there fully.
Mm-hmm.
And it shit is easier said than done, bro. I mean, I can sit here and
no
say
what no 100%. They actually had a study where the results of the study, they basically proved that our human brains are actually designed to keep us from doing new things. Like our brain is like, that's why a lot of people I've noticed in today's society, especially the younger people, they complain a lot about, oh, I'm anxious, or oh, I have a lot of anxiety. I can't do this, I can't do that, because that's anxiety. And they use it almost as like as an excuse to never leave their homes and do anything. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been in many situations where I'm sitting there around a whole bunch of new people and I feel super anxious.
Yeah.
But then I just tell myself, you know what? These guys don't know me. I don't know them. They probably feel just the same way I do.
Exactly.
Hey, you know what? I'm just going to pretend that I'm cool. And then by pretending you're cool, you come off as cool. Like
you fake it till you make it.
Yeah, you fake it till you make it. And people don't understand that. Like I've had people come up to me all the time. They're like, oh, I could never do that. That would make me feel this way. And I look at them, I'm like, you think I'm some kind of like superhero? Like, what do you think I don't get these feelings too? Like, and they're like, well, how do you do it? I'm like, I just do. They're like, really? But don't you feel this way? I'm like, yeah, but I don't let it stop me.
No, exactly. That's the key, Freddie. That is the key. That is the key, because you're absolutely right. People, and some of the things that I do, and stepping up, and so I've learned, and I do things. Sometimes a lot of times I'm scared to do it. I'm scared, but I do it to get out of my comfort zone, or to, like, when a fear comes up, I'm asking myself, and I've learned that, all right, what is this fear and how do I get past it? And I just do it, right? But then you come to find out, like, everybody is scared at that moment. And, you do it a couple times, and they're like, yo, you just get up there. You always just do something like it comes easy. I'm like, no, like it might
No, it
look like that.
doesn't. It
It
might
might
look
look like
easy,
that,
but
but
it's
I'm
not.
just as scared as anybody else. I just, want to get past that for myself. And bro, and it's one of those great feelings like, yo, that shit
Hmm.
was scary, but man,
It's like
look,
I did that.
yeah, yeah, man. It is that's real. And I think that's what the anxiousness too. It is and it's normal to have anxiety, bro. Like there's times that,
Mhm.
that I have anxiety of being in places and I've DJ clubs. I've been in places that are packed. I've been around a lot of and sometimes a lot of times I'm great in those environments, but sometimes like it is the anxiety is real, bro. And it's
Mhm.
sometimes that the energy in the place is off, right? But for us
Yep.
to be able to pay attention to it and say make that decision, like, yeah, okay, like I could move through this, or I just get out of here because I'm not up to it right now. And that's great. Like if you're not up to it right now, it's okay too. Like, but
Mhm.
you can't live your whole life like that. Like you can't live your life just scared to do everything because you know what? That's anxiety. I'm not like, and I'm not downplaying anxiety at all because it's real. But there are moments where it's a chance for you to move through that.
Yep. To grow.
Yeah, there's a saying, bro. There's a saying that says if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing.
Yep.
You know. Um, but yeah, so like my wife thinks I do things. I mean, you do that all day. Like it's
You do that all
and I'm
day. That's
like,
easy.
no, it's not that easy. I'm like, it might look like that after, but no, that shit wasn't easy.
It's like while
Um,
you're in the moment, you're literally sitting there like, all right, I got to do this right. All right, I got to do this right. All right, don't mess this one up. All right,
yeah,
dude. And then at the end, you're just like, everyone's like, wow, man, you did that so smooth. You
yeah,
so easy. But in your head, you're just like, no.
no, you know, and so what's helped me along the way is like I'm not afraid to fail at it because what I got from it means a lot more from what you got from it. Because you might you might see me as like, oh man, he bombed it, right? But um I failed. I learned how not to do it next time, right? So you
Mhm.
got next time. I know I'm not gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it that way. Um, but but the thing is, bro, like everybody fails at some point, bro. There's nothing wrong with
Yep.
failing at some points. It's nothing wrong, man. We get caught up in judgments and how we look.
Yep.
Like, oh man, I must have looked stupid. Like everybody thinks about that, right? Everybody thinks I'm gonna look stupid. I'm proud of myself because even though I look stupid, I was brave enough to do it, right? Which made me feel great. Um, but like it also like you're gonna get another chance to do something.
Hmm.
And
See,
if you don't,
I
yeah,
actually like that you said that because I've noticed a lot of people, for some reason, once they become quote unquote adults, I hope you're ready. I'm about to get really deep with this.
yeah, yeah.
Normally, people like they think, oh, I'm an adult now. I have to watch how I look. I have to, I can't look dumb. I can't look childish. I can't look this. I can't look that. And they worry so much about what other people think. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I literally remember telling myself as a kid, I would always be like, Freddie, don't lose your smile. Don't become like all the other adults. Like
Yeah,
don't
they get
grow up and
serious.
be
Now they're
yeah.
serious.
I
Yeah.
was like, don't become, uh so serious and so like strict about everything and yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten jobs or I've been like with my daughter before, and people are like, wow, you're so good with kids. Like, how do you do it? And I literally tell them, I'm like, because I never grew up. Like,
Yeah.
I just like it. And in all of our society, like in all of the religious cultures and societies and everything, in
Mm-hmm.
all the texts, they say in order to enter the kingdom of heaven or in order to enter the state of nirvana or in order to enter, you know, the beautiful paradise that's promised in all of these different religions and everything, they say that the way to do it is to enter back into the state of a child. You have
Yeah.
to enter back into a childlike state. And kids don't care if they look stupid.
Right.
They honestly think it's funny if they look stupid. Like they'll play tag, they'll play pretend, they'll jump around,
And
like, and they
yeah,
don't care what they look like. Like you ask adults, "Hey, do you know how to dance?" "Oh, sorry, I can't dance. I don't dance. I look dumb."
it's
You
stupid.
ask kids to dance, bro, they'll do the weirdest, craziest looking stuff, but to them, it's dancing because they're like, you know what? This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, and you know that feeling. You remember that feeling?
Yeah,
That
of
that's
course.
the
I mean,
that's the feeling that I'm talking about. That is the feeling of living. You're and when you're dancing like that, like when you're dancing like nobody's watching, or like you don't
yes,
care who's watching, and you're just rocking it out like a kid in that childlike state, is that's where that's that state of being where we would thrive if we was to find that and live like
in
that.
that.
Not saying that you're gonna
Yes.
be dancing for 3 hours straight, because that's the feeling, but no, it's that
Not caring what other people think about you.
exactly. And you're right, because society does, like, you grow up, you got bills, and you can't behave like that. There's professionals here, or like, we don't do that in this house, right? And it's like, what?
Yep.
I'm not doing anything to bother anybody. I'm having a great time. Like, well, how are you gonna knock the smile off my face or dim my light, or I just gotta be different now? Like, why?
Hmm.
Where when you find that, it's that feeling inside, is that feeling that is going to attract more positive into your life. um yeah, that's pretty much why I started this podcast, bro, because I feel that way when I work the job that I do.
Hmm.
Dude, I feel like that when I help the kids that I work with and the families, and you can see the light in their eyes. Bro, that
Yes.
feeling is off the hook. Like, yo, this person's day and life just got better because they
Yep.
learned to do something different, that helps them in life. Working on their anger, um, creating something to present to the other kids. It's just a great feeling. And I feel like spreading that can help other people be like, well, you know what? If he's doing what he loves to do, shit, I want to do what I love to do.
Yep.
Right?
And
Without
that's the thing
anybody
a lot of
looking.
people
Yeah.
don't understand. They think that in our society we have to be a certain way. But if everyone woke up to the fact that we, the people, have the power, people think, oh,
Yeah.
if the government shut down, we wouldn't have doctors anymore. We wouldn't have lawyers anymore. We wouldn't have this, that, and the other because no one would get paid. But that's not true. What would actually happen, and a lot of people don't know this,
Mhm.
if you look up the time of the Renaissance
Yeah.
and why the Renaissance was such a huge, impactful era in our history, it's because people weren't getting paid to do things anymore. So instead of people doing things for money, like instead of teachers going to teach kids, even though they don't like kids, just for money, those people would quit their jobs because they were like, okay, well, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not going to do what I don't want to do. So then
Mhm.
people who loved it would step in. And then you would have doctors who actually care about people, teachers who actually care about the children and teaching the children, artists who actually love the art, not just the money, but they love just expressing that part of themselves. And if you look at the Renaissance era, that's literally what happened. We got Picasso, Shakespeare, like all of these people were doing what they loved because they didn't have to worry about doing a job that they didn't love just to survive.
Yeah.
And if we literally have the means right now at this point in time in our society if everyone were to just be like, you know what, we're going to go back to tribal ways of living. If everyone started growing food in like neighborhood gardens, community gardens, people just started helping out. Hey, oh, you need a lawnmower? I just bought this one. Everyone on the block can use it. Yada, yada, yada. Like if people started actually coming together,
unified. Yeah.
yeah, people wouldn't have to go do
Mhm.
9 to 5 jobs that they don't like every single day. People would be like, "Oh, well, this is awesome. Well, since you cut everyone's grass because you love to cut grass, um, I love reading and writing. So I'm gonna start reading to everyone's kids and teaching
Yeah.
everyone's kids in the neighborhood how to read and write." And then you
Yep.
have people doing what they love. And when you have people doing what they love, everyone starts to have the
Mm.
opportunity to share what you just said, to share that love with each other,
Yeah.
to share that joy with each other, and
Mhm.
to help each other grow.
Yeah. That's the vision. That's the vision for a unified world or
Yep.
united world. And Fred, I feel like it's gonna get there. I think we're eventually gonna get there. I hope we get there while I'm alive because I'd love to see that because and then you get everybody that's doing something they love. Everybody's happy. And you're helping someone, bro. The
Mhm.
helping someone is one of the best feelings ever, bro. You know what I'm saying? And not because you look good doing it. No, I mean it feels great that you help somebody do something that they didn't know how to do before.
Mhm.
It's great, and then you do it. Yo, one of the keys to living in your passion and is doing it without an insistence of what you're getting back or what the outcome is
Mhm.
going to be. You can't do something with a thought in your mind at that, like, oh, it's gonna be this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna get paid this much money for it, right? You're not in the moment if you're thinking about what you're gonna get from it,
Yep.
or you're thinking you're doing something because the outcome is gonna be, oh my God, this is gonna enlighten, and everybody's gonna love, and this and that, and then only like one person claps, right? And
Mhm.
now it's like you're feeling where like if you're doing it because you just actually love doing it and not thinking about the outcome, is where you're living in that, like, that's
In
the
the
state of
process.
being where it's like,
Yep.
I don't care. Like this podcast, I'm telling you, I keep going back to this podcast like this because, like, yes, I would love for the whole world to listen to it and be enlightened by it and be like, yes, I'm gonna live my passion. That would be awesome, Fred. But at the same time, if I don't reach anybody, shit, man, I had a great time talking with you. I had a
Right.
great time. Like, this moment is enough, right? And I think a lot of successful people, Freddie, a lot of successful people, I feel like they don't even care. They're not even watching what's around them. They're into their shit, like, because they love to do it.
Yep.
And then the success, and then you don't notice your bank account building, like, somebody, for instance, somebody makes a beat. They love making beats, love playing with the drum machine, love
Yep.
doing that. Yo, that's just shit. They feel alive doing it, right? Boom, 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 boom. They give it to somebody to rap over it. That record is taking off over there, but he's working on another beat and another beat, and he's like,
Yep.
yo, they're not paying attention to their bank account when they're doing it, right? But when they look, it's like, oh shit, man, look at what I did. How many people are listening to it? I'm number one. That's an
Yep.
awesome feeling too, bro. That feeling is good. There's nothing wrong with that feeling, bro. Everybody's listening to your shit, but that's not the reason that
That you
you
did it.
love doing it.
Yep.
So when you find your passion, is that where everything, I feel like everything starts to fall in line around you, but because you're just in the zone and doing what you love to do. Anyways, are you ready for your pictures?
Oh yeah.
I'm recording this, bro. You ready?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm ready. I wish you could see my face better.
All right, here it goes. So I'm gonna pull up the picture and you're gonna tell me what you were doing, what the story behind it. And even if it's like, nah, you know what, that was nothing. I just did this or whatever. All right, you ready?
All right.
I'm actually want to put this as one of my covers if you give me permission to do it.
Okay.
And if I make it big, then we'll split some of that money. But check it out. Can you see that?
Yo.
Now that is stepping out of your shell.
Yep. Oh man, that was such an awesome day.
Where
So
was this?
that I believe was my birthday last year. And basically I had come back home to hang out with dad for a little bit. And I had just been going through some stuff. And I was like, man, dad, like I wasn't really staying fit like I am now either. I had kind of like gotten a little chubby and whatnot.
Mhm.
I was like, dad, can we just like go to the beach and just get away from everyone for like a day? Like I just want to hang out and just vibe and just be near water and nature. And he was like, all right, cool. I got the perfect place. So the funny thing is we went looking for this perfect place, never found it. And we were just like you could tell like the energy was kind of getting like, man, what are we going to do? So then me and dad looked at each other. We're like, you know what? We're just going to go with the flow. And we were both like, yeah. So we just kept going. And like we turned that energy around real quick. We randomly found this place and it was such a cool place. We ended up just swimming, cooking, just having fun, hanging out. I had my drone, so I like took pictures from way above. And then as we were swimming, I feel something on my feet. And I'm like, yo, this feels like a shell. So I dive underneath and I grabbed it and I lifted up. I was like, Dad, look this beautiful shell. And he's like, what's that? What's that sticking out of it? And I look and I'm like, yo, this is a hermit crab. It's like, Dad, this is one big ass
That's a
hermit
huge. I'm about
crab.
to say that thing is huge.
Yeah. So we're sitting there and I'm like, Dad, how much you want to bet I could get it to come out? And he was like, nah, it's gonna be scary. It's not gonna come out. I was like, Dad, watch. Cause like me and dad have always had like a weird thing with animals where we just connect with them really well. So I
Mhm.
held it really slow, really steady. And little by little, it started like peeking its little eyes out. And then
Mhm.
it would put more of its body out and then its claws. And then it just started chilling. Like it looked at me and saw me, and I kind of looked at it like, hey man, I'm not gonna mess with you. I just think you're cool. And it just started hanging outside of its shell, like, all right, this is cool. Like weird big giants are picking me up, but at least they're not trying to eat me, so I'm okay with this.
Mhm.
And we just started taking pictures with it.
Nice. That is dope. So that's what I'm talking about. Can I use this picture?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I was looking at your pictures. I'm like, get out of here. Does that go with my show or no?
That's literally being in the getting out of your shell and being in the moment.
Yeah, it is.
Because
Yeah,
the
it is.
hermit crab was like, if the hermit crab would have stayed in its shell, it would have been scared the whole time. But
Mhm.
the fact that the hermit crab was like, you know what? These guys really aren't hurting me.
Yeah,
Let me enjoy this because I'm probably never going to experience this again.
that's
And
dope.
like, I don't know if you can zoom in, but look how happy that little thing
It
is just
is. It does
chilling.
look at the eyes. The eyes are. Let me zoom in a little bit.
Look at
Like it,
it.
it
It's
came
literally
out.
just chilling.
It looks like it just came out for the picture.
Yep. It was like, cheese.
That's dope, yo. So let's talk about that a little bit more about that fear, because like you're talking about. I mean, let me add this to it. You didn't say you were scared, but you feeling something in the water. You feel something in your feet, and you just go in there and get it. Like other people would have been like, "Pew, I'm out of here."
Yep.
There's something just touched my foot. Something just touched my foot. I'm out of here. Bang. Right. But you know what the is those thoughts are usually more scarier than the actual whatever it is. For
100%.
instance, how many times we say, we're watching a scary movie and we're watching it from the outside and we're in suspense. We're like, oh shit, something's gonna happen. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. They hear something and they turn around and they go look for the sound, and you're sitting there like, no, what are you
Don't
doing?
do it.
Are you crazy? Right? But how many times does that happen in your house? You hear a sound? I don't think twice. I go upstairs to check what's going on. Like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Is so when you're watching a movie, is that thought, like, you know that something's gonna happen, and you're scaring yourself, and that's what the movie's meant to do. But how many times do we hear a sound and we just go check it out to go figure out what's that noise? Something just fell. Let me go check it out, right? Because then you see, something fell or somebody was upstairs doing something. But then you realize like you didn't have nothing to be scared of. You're sitting down here scared as shit because the refrigerator door closed, and then you go upstairs and somebody opened it and closed it. Right? It wasn't that scary.
I mean, sometimes the opposite happens. Like sometimes you're scared and you're like, man, I shouldn't do this. But then you do it anyway. And it ends up being like, wow, I'm so glad I did that.
Yeah.
Like instead of being something bad, it turns out to be something really, really amazing.
Just like what you did. You stuck your hand in there, you grabbed that shell, and look at that perfect moment that you had. That's dope. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
Right.
I'm like, uh-oh.
No, they're not bad. However, they're interesting. Like, I want to talk about this. What is going on? Wait.
Yo, that is too funny.
You see what I'm saying, right?
Yep. Can you zoom in on my face real quick? Look at that grin.
Okay, where was this? What the heck are you doing with those guns and those girls?
So this was the last year I had spent almost all of last year I spent in Atlanta working on doing stunts, working on like combat, weaponry use, just working on developing my skills and getting the right videos and stuff and clips that I would need to get myself into the stunt industry.
Mm-hmm.
And then this day, someone was like, hey, I want you to come in dressed nice. We're going to do a photo shoot for you. We're going to do a photo shoot, to start putting you into stunts and whatever. And since I was already dressed nice, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a little photo shoot of myself. And in the stunt place, they have all these fake guns. Mm-hmm. And we use the fake guns in a lot of the films that we do because they look real. So I grabbed two of the girls, was like, yo, can you both help me? You both literally seem to be wearing the same thing. You're matching perfectly. Can you help me with a photo shoot real quick? They're like, sure. What do you have in mind? And I gave them all these guns, and they were like, they looked at me like, well, what are we about to do? Like this looks like it's about to be fun. So I was like, let's literally just take a bunch of pictures. Because someone had joked around saying that I looked like some kind of Puerto Rican mafia boss. And I was like, well, let's do it. I'll be the mafia boss and you'll be my two hit women. Like, let's do it. And they're like, yo, yes, let's do it. So I had bought in a Malta because it looks like a beer. And we literally sat there, put some fake money on the table. I put my wallet on the table and we just started taking like, oh, yep, there's another one. In that one, I was trying to do little poses to see like how I would look if I were on camera, like, what kind of face would I make, if I was interrogating someone or if I was the mob boss and I was mad at someone, how would I be talking to them? What facial expressions would I make? Mm-hmm. I was literally trying to put myself into the actual character. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was in the moment of being someone else.
Yeah. You look like you was someone else there. You look like that character. I'm looking for that. I was looking for the movie. I'm like, Dad, did we miss something? Freddy in a movie or something?
Right.
So, anyways, but that's how I picked these pictures because it looked like you doing your thing. You look like you were having fun.
It was so much fun, man.
Mhm.
Honestly, that's part of the reason why I said I wanted to start working that trucking thing that I was telling you about,
Yep.
because I could work 2 weeks and have a week and a half off. With that week and a half, with the amount of money that I'm going to have,
Hmm.
I can literally go to Atlanta, take more of those classes whenever I want, make myself more available to people,
Hmm.
pay for really nice photo shoots. Like, I
Yeah.
already have the passion. I'll now have the time and the financial resources to do it even better.
Yeah. Yeah. And so let me go back to that relationship you have with money, because I was like that too, bro. And you know that what that did to me is held me back from actually attracting that into my life, because you know I was like that so much. You know, the more that you do something, the more it just becomes routine or natural, that it's then you're doing stuff subconsciously where it's like,
Yep.
you know, I'm not even noticing I'm doing that. Or you know that feeling you get where like what you were talking about earlier, that you think that the money is the root of all evil and fuck that, I'm against money, I'm straight, where um we have to learn to it's money, bro. It's, and you assign the meaning to it. If you give it a negative
Mm-hmm.
meaning, you're gonna have a negative relationship with it, right? Or you can decide like, no, I mean, this money can pay my bills. I could live, you know, debt free. I could pay my stuff and live life like I could do the things that I want to do. Like you're saying, like you can have this job, make that money, be able to pay for your dreams, to work on that part of it, where we have to form that relationship with money where it's not evil, bro. It's shit. It's part of this world. It's part of the system per se. Like it's a system that you have to make that money so that you can have a better life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need to. But if you have goals of, like you said, if I need to buy some pictures because I want to you know, shop my pictures around, or my movie clips around, got to pay for it somehow, right?
Yep.
So you know, we have to form that relationship and be like, yeah, I mean, it's not, you know. And then there's people like, no, I'm gonna like, no, the money is bad, and I just want to help, you know, the people that don't have much. I'm just gonna give my time to them. Where that's fine if you want to do that, perfectly fine, nothing wrong with it. But there's also nothing wrong with making a whole lot of money and being able to do other stuff with it too, like start charities, buy a whole bunch of book bags, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's not evil. It's what you want to assign to it and what you can do with it. Where like I wish I would have not had that attitude early on about like, nah, man, if you're rich, you're just chasing money.
Mm-hmm.
It's evil, right? But you know, that's real. It's about accepting. We cannot deny anything that's part of being human, right?
Yep.
We can't deny our bodies. Something we can't deny our emotions, right? You were born with them. They come up,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to accept them and move through them, because when you move through them is where you grow.
Yep. I think it goes back to that fear is like sometimes, and tell me whether or not you related to this back then.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, because at least this is how I felt about it. I felt like if I did become that person to start chasing money and yada yada yada, I was looking at it as chasing money instead of instead of just attracting money. And I guess I almost had a fear that the money would change me.
Oh, yeah.
But now I know, I'm like, I don't need to be scared, because I've been scared of so many other things, and I've done it anyway, and things always come out like good. And even if they don't come out good, I learn from it.
Right.
And now I'm at the point where I'm just like, I know money's not going to change me. If anything, money's going to make me more of who I am, because I'm a giver at heart anyway. And when I see someone in the street and I can't give them anything, that kind of hurts me a little bit.
Yeah.
But now, like, if I start attracting that abundance, if I see someone who really needs help, I won't think twice to be like, yo, here's $200. Go get yourself a shower. Go get yourself something to eat, some clothes. Like, you're really trying to get a job. You're really trying to, like, I've been where you've been, and this is what I needed. Here, I'm giving this to you. When I see you in a week, you better be doing good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. You're able to do more with it, right? As long as you don't change who you are, but I mean, here's another thing, Fred. I mean, you naturally you're gonna change, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna change for bad, right? Because obviously, as the more money or experiences you go through, and you might, and there's nothing wrong with, listen, I like this, not that you have to live lavishly all the time, but there might be some things I know, like this quality, that shirt right there, I love the way that shirt just fits me, and that shit might cost like $75, right? But damn, man, I feel so comfortable in it. Like, it's like I'm gonna buy 3 of these because I just love the way it feels, right? But that's if you want to. It doesn't make you a bad person, or like, you bougie. Like, no, listen, I don't buy it because the way it makes me look. I love the way it feels, bro. I feel like $1,000,000 in this thing, bro. So
that's me 100%.
And that's something that I've learned over the years. Like, some people like polos, right? But yeah, polos for them probably just feel amazing. It makes them feel great. And it's not always about I'm freaking dope. What do you call it? I'm dripping, right?
Yeah, right.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is that, it might seem like a change from the outside, but if you're now having new experiences, now you ate at a restaurant that the food was amazing, but it's like $75, $100 a plate, but damn, that food is banging, right? There's nothing wrong with going there and treating yourself if you're working hard. But yeah, I mean, and those are things that if it happens, it's nothing wrong with it. And if you don't want to do it, nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
Right? Is that judgment of ourselves, judgment of other people, which I cannot stand, bro. I have no business judging anybody, bro. I'm the last person that judges anybody.
I hear that.
But at the same time, like, you have no business judging me, bro. Like, it's my life. Like, how are you, like, I live by this, Fred. What you think of me is none of my business, bro. Like,
right?
It's none of my business. That's what you think of me? Okay, well, you don't know me, and you have no business judging.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've learned, and I actually saw recently. It said, you're gonna be a hero in some people's story. You're gonna be a villain in other people's story. In some people's story, you might not matter at all. But to be honest, none of that has anything to do with who or what you actually are. It only has to do with their perception of what they've seen of you. I mean, so why does it really matter? At the end of the day, no one knows who you are but you and God.
Yeah. And it's your path.
Yep.
Right? Like, it's not your path, it's my path. What you doing here? What you doing here? I'm going to my destiny, my destination. This is what I am meant to do. Like I mean, you want to walk alongside me and celebrate with me, that's fine, but like you don't have to, and it's not your path, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Um, all right. I mean, is there anything else? Anything else you want to talk about?
I guess I just want to leave off with the note for the people who watch this
Mm,
and you know feel like they vibe with what we're saying and they can relate. Um, don't let things like fear and anxiety hold you back. There's a story, and it's about a kid who's on a horse, and the kid is in like these really, really dark woods, and the kid says to the horse, "Horse, I can't see the destination. I can't see where we're supposed to go." And the horse says, "Little boy, do you see at least the first steps in front of you?" And the little boy says, "Yes." And the horse says, "Good. Just take those."
mhm.
So just focus on don't focus on the future. Don't focus on what might go right, what might go wrong. Because everyone's always thinking, man, but if I do this, what if you do it and it works out even better than you thought? Just focus on what you can do.
Mhm.
Don't focus on what you can't or what hasn't come yet. Focus on what you can do today to
Yeah.
get closer to whatever goal you want. Just enjoy the process. Don't be so quick to want to get to the journey that you miss all of the sights on the way there.
Yeah. That's dope. Like that.
Thanks, Gus.
All right, man. Listen, you're always welcome. Hit me up when you want to come do another one after you start your new job and stuff. Later on, it's up to you. Hit me up.
No, that'd be awesome. Maybe one of the interviews I'll do, I'll be on the road driving a truck. I'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah, so
All right, man. Take it easy. I love you, cuz.
I love you too, man. Tell the family that I send my love. Give everyone big hugs for me.
Yeah.
And tell them that they got to give you a big hug for me too.
All right, man. Take it easy. Free
All right.
yourself.
Free yourself. Yeah.